The 2021 virtual Glasbachrennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Elite Gaming, ESTV, and MotorVision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
2021 Virtual Glasbachrennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Elite Gaming, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
That's Bashadov currently leading by 10 points in front of Agius Andre. And then another 3 points back to Antonis Paranopoulos, who won the last event in the Czech Republic. A good win for him that got him back in contention, so he's going to be very pleased with himself for that one. In Group H, in the Group H special category, it was John Spider who took a very good victory actually last time around and put big distance into his championship rivals because most of them were tied. What was a very, very difficult hill climb in the end here. So he really took a step forward in that championship. Vincent Tukulau, who wasn't even there, is now 27 points adrift. And Philip Raab is a further 8 points back from that. It's very close on back from second, though, on this occasion. And in E1 2000, it is Javi Rodriguez who's leading that championship in front of David Tachev. 43 points behind, and Nick Cox second is really quite a long way back from that as well. So that's not the most open championship either. Certainly E1 plus 2000 is, in my opinion, the best one. It is the closest, I guess. As I mentioned, the timing is not on here at the moment, so it's very difficult for me to tell you very much about what's going on at the moment, but we've not started yet, so that's all alright. Hopefully by the time we started I will have an idea about what's going on, but let's wait and see. Just to update you on what the rules are going to be as well for this one, it's the best two heats that count on this occasion. The best two runs for these guys are going to be the ones where all that are taken into account for this race. A little bit more about this climb while we're waiting. 5.5 kilometres, a couple of days shorter than the last run, or the last round I should say. 260 metres are going to be gained today, and the finish at 635 metres above sea level. It's the longest hill climb that is still used in Germany today at 5.5 k's, and part of the European Hill Climb Championship for its 10th year now in 2021. So as things stand, just to update you in case you've not watched one of these hill climb events before, we've just had a qualifying session there, and the order is taken. So the fastest qualifier goes first, and the slowest goes last. And yeah, in the third runs it does come to a bit of a crescendo as final runs come through for the main players. We kind of get 4 doses of that excitement as well with the 4 classes. There is a 5th class, I can assure you, E2 2000, but that's basically Chris Bennett on his own. He's often racing against the others. Matches up pretty well to the E1 plus 2000 category, so you can kind of mark him against those if you like. But he's got the most points out of everybody so far because he's got 5 wins out of 5, obviously. So not a combined championship, but if it was, then he'll be miles ahead. In the teams, Equipe Regal scored 43 last time round, with Eric Tutto getting a second and Sebastian Renau winning again, so that's really given them a big step forward in that championship. Teams championship, you don't have to be in the same class, and it's often advised that you don't if you want to get the points tally up. So if you're not in the same class, then you can both get 25 points, of course. If you're in the same class, then you're competing against each other and one's taking 7 points away from the other, if you see what I mean. So often advised against. You want to win it anyway. And again, if you want to race against your mates, then don't go in the same. Don't go in different classes, I suppose. We're waiting for the grid orders to be set, I believe. just as I said that. Okay. It's not working for me either at the moment. Yes, people can hear me again, yeah. Which is, well, I was about to say that, which is good, but maybe to some it's not. Somebody is out there apparently, although we've got a Lancer out there at the moment, but I'm not sure if that's meant to happen or not, really, at this point. Sounds like he's gone back to the garages now, I'm not sure why. We're still waiting. Somebody else goes out, I'll just see him go through shot. I still don't have any time, unfortunately, so I'm at a bit of a loss. You people on the stream know even more than me, which is... yes.
Okay, unmute myself, and at least we can have a talk, Ewan.
Yes, okay.
I don't know what everyone's waiting for. I haven't heard anything, haven't seen anything. John hasn't told me anything yet.
Yeah, well, John's just told me that I have to restart the session here for a second.
Okay. Okay, then they'll have to resort the starting order again. Because it's all, I can see on the timing that it is all set up and that Sebastian Ronat was supposed to start first, then Mark Best, Thomas Besedov, Antonius. I can't do those Greek names. You're better at it by now.
Paranopoulos, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm probably getting it wrong, but it's the best way I can.
I guess Andre, then Chris Bennett, John Spider, George Mallis. Pascalis, Angelopoulos. Okay, Angelopoulos, that I can do, but his first name is... I'm gonna murder it no matter how I say it, you know.
Well, yeah, I think we all are. I mean, to be honest, I keep saying Paranopoulos, but it might be Paranopoulos, something like that. I don't know.
Paranopoulos?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, with that many syllables, there's a lot of ways.
One of them bound to go wrong, yeah.
Javi Rodriguez, Andres Velas, Ludovic Calve, Aris Calve. That was the that must be the brothers you talked about as well, or yeah. Oh, John says he's here as well. You can talk,
yes.
John. You will get on the stream, but we would like to know what's going on. If you want to inform us. And the dear viewer out there.
I fully understand that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There are some technical issues. And the dear viewer out there.
Okay. The police is coming.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
The thing is that some issues with the lineup on the warm-up, so he had to restart the session, and then we should be able to get going. Some smaller technical issues, but not something serious. And John is out, as you can hear, with the pace car, so it should be going now.
Hope so, and we'll know as soon as Sebastian Renard leaves the garage and pulls up to the line, and we'll see that in a few minutes' time. So
yeah, I will be leaving this room, so I will go help. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, bye.
there we are. Now we know what's happening.
That much wiser.
Or just a little bit, yeah.
Well, the server should be running real weather as we do in all the other series. So an hour ago, it would have been raining, but it does look like clear weather now.
Seems to be okay at the moment. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Of course.
I just prior to setting this up, while eating my dinner, I was watching a rerun of the Formula 1 qualifying. Haven't gotten to the race yet, but as everybody knows, raining during these types of timed events, it can turn out bad really fast.
It can turn it on its head completely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, that's exactly why I liked the mid-2000s qualifying system in Formula 1. My opinion. Anyway, finally got some action to bring you out there on the road, and it's Sebastian Renard who's going to line up here first. Around this corner here. As I mentioned, we're properly in town here, so yeah, you do have to be
He's actually
quite careful. Yeah, we're actually on our way. As you can see, we saw this 4 weeks ago. The barriers were very close then. It claimed a lot of victims in the end, and we've got a similar situation here today. It's very narrow and very fast through this bit here, as you can see. This car barely stays in one lane, to be honest. You couldn't drive it up here on a public road, you'd be out in the middle of the road, but it's fine for now. Obviously, chicane coming up very shortly as well. One of these artificial ones. It's probably the most dangerous one I've seen all year, because it's right round a corner. There it is. You can't see it until quite late, and you've got to go down quite drastically for it. Get round and see these hairpins coming up soon as well, and then you'll know we're near the end. Here's the first one of them. Oh no, that wasn't it, but either way, it does get a little bit more technical towards the end. As you can see, there's the big switchback. And there's going to be quite a gentle one to the left, very wide and spread out one. Coming up now. Going through here. And then towards the finish, which in this car is not going to be a problem. Being all the way around the bend, but some of the later cars, it may well be. Wait and see. Got Radical out here today in the 160. I couldn't tell you who it is, I'm afraid. Mark Best in the Norma. It's not a Radical at all, it just looks like one. See Mark Best back out there again. I've been here for a while, but as he gets to the end today, he should be taking second place in the championship. It would still be a very long way off the top. He's 85 points back currently. Sorry. 85? Yeah, it is. I'm trying to do maths live. So he is a long way back, but
156 for Sebastian Run at 204 for Mark Best. Yeah. The Norma really is not as fast as the Ursula.
no, it's not as powerful and not as... it's actually heavier at the same time. So I guess I can't really be too surprised.
Well, then you really needed to hope for the rain, because having a bit of weight actually can be an advantage when it's raining.
Unfortunately, his wishes have not been answered on this occasion.
Not at all.
So, Paranopoulos is... Paranopoulos, whatever we're going to go for. Not there as well right now. He's won the last 2 events, so clearly in a good run of form. But
Carl's looking very, very well behaved as well.
yeah, just look pretty quick in it right now.
Chris Bennett is out there. One of the cars that can actually get a proper onboard. This is from like the front wing or something like that.
Time for Paranopoulos finally. 19.8. Don't forget it's the best 2 times are going to count, so... That to watch out for.
And this, by the way, is the Formula Tatus Masters.
Yeah. Be mixing it with the E1 Plus 2000 cars when he comes over the line here, but taking it very easy through the chicane, making sure nothing goes wrong. Not seen any more time for E1 Plus 2000 though, only that Ford Escort we've already seen has come over the line apparently in set a time. Did see the Audi going pretty strongly. Might have not got to the end, as I said, I've got no idea.
George Mellis is making his way up there in another one of the Escorts.
That Audi did make it to the end, but 3.5 seconds back on Paradopoulos. George Miles has been there and thereabouts so far this year, but I don't think he's cracked the podium yet. It's that extra few seconds on the times that you could do with getting rid of if you can really contend at the front of the field. But Bennett goes over the line anyway. 25.9 for him.
And that's the championship for him. Because we are halfway through the season, and he's the only car in the season, so if someone else pops in now, well, they can only tie with him.
Yeah, and that's even if he doesn't score any points.
Yeah,
he's got
not racing any of the last events.
Not looking particularly hopeful for anybody to not win, for anybody to take that off of him now. We expected. Bill Spiders come over the line for Group H.
George Malice.
Oh dear. Yeah.
I'm driving this afternoon because I was recording a bit of material and doing a bit of stuff for the live stream tonight, so I had to drive the track. I did about, I think, 20 practice runs or something like that inside maybe 1.5 hours. It's very hard.
Yes.
This hill climb is... There was another one that was particularly up and down and had barriers close to the edge as well. I can't remember which one. Rampart of Valterra.
I thought it was the one 4 weeks ago, the one in Czech Republic.
Yeah, that wasn't as bad. That was pretty
okay.
That was very wide.
They had the barriers like this though.
It did. But it was so wide. There was so much space.
Malice is completed, by the way, despite the fact he's bumped the wall a couple of times on the way up. Not sure about Tobias Bashadorf, because he said he was in the order, but I've not seen him cross the line at all yet. Don't know where he is. Javi Rodriguez in the Honda TCR car, winning his championship by a fair way at this point. We've got 43 points over David Tasha.
That car on the left, that got Ludovic Calvert in one of the more interesting special cars, the Opel GT Cycle.
Yes, it is. And a very popular car at that in Group H actually.
Getting that wrong again. Ludovic Calvert is new to the championship, right? He didn't do any of the other rounds. I can't remember the name at least.
Yeah, he's a new entry to this championship at round 7. Round 6 today. On the wall for Carver not so long ago either, but not the big one for Valius. It does seem like a difficult course, but most have been making their way through it so far. Not seeing anybody DNF, but then got to catch them at the right time if I want to. So
And it is the first run. So if you're sensible about it, you just want to put the time in the bank now.
Yes, that's true.
A little bit.
Seen many other Group H cars actually out there at all yet. And John Spider. I don't know really who else is entered at the moment. That's the finish for another one of our E1 Plus 2000 cars. There's a lot of them today. A lot of these Mitsubishi Evos and so on.
I do know, however, that the sorting on the timing tower in the left is strange. It's got
It is a bit, yeah.
ones, then all the number twos, then all the number threes.
Yeah, that is strange. Including the safety car, which is on the leaderboard. Or the...
Go safety car.
Which, yeah, doesn't intend on driving, but it's up there anyway. So anyway. The class leaders from this run anyway. Oh, bit of a bump on the wall for that Renault Clio. Must be Ivan Moro, because he's the only Renault Clio on the entry list.
No, that was Valadis.
Oh.
And
Really?
there we go, Marcus Blaffel.
Yes. The Opel Cadet.
Yeah, that's a slightly tamer version of the Opel.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because the Psycho version is the one that has the extreme wide body kit.
Yes, it certainly looks less, yeah. It's got a little bit less horsepower, but it's a bit lighter, so take your pick.
For the looks, I go with the Psycho. The wide body kit looks awesome.
It does look very good, yeah. It seems to be very popular as well with the fans and with some of the drivers. I know Vonson Tukulav's also driving it. The Super Impressor out there at the moment.
Gert Elson.
Yes.
Is that the right name? Is he in any way related to Uwe Elson?
I'm gonna doubt it, but then again, you never know.
Uwe Elson, quite seasoned German GT car driver. If people don't know, look him up. He was a driver with the Maserati MC12 team in the GT1 category for a while. Oh no, it's raining.
It does look like it's raining. I can see the wipers going at the moment. And this is not helpful for anybody later on in the order. Considering the fast ones have gone early, It's not going to spring any surprises for us, unfortunately. We'd love a drying track for one of these, really. That would really throw it up in the air, but the rain is starting to fall. These guys were getting into their groove. The groove's got a bit wet, I'm afraid, so bit of a battle to go for these guys.
Well, you can't win every time.
Well, no, but all these guys might have been thinking that they could have done if the weather hadn't intervened.
Then again, it's set up so the quicker guys goes first.
Yes.
But if it starts raining, it's only more advantage to them. So.
Yeah, but on a dry, fully dry track, rubber would not be with them. It would obviously be with everybody else and help everybody else. So things and roundabouts, I suppose.
Put the turn on his head, yeah.
I believe, well, I'll have a look myself now, but I believe most of these guys have hit a lap time at this point. Got a few to go. A few entered here today, by the way. Nearly 30 cars on I don't know if you call it on the grid, would you, but nearly 30 cars going to be lining up here today, certainly.
Okay, I have rearranged the sorting order of the timing tower so we can get it into a more orderly fashion. It will now be in general position order.
Obviously, a much better way of doing things.
The individual numbers will still be the positions in class.
Yes.
Let's see who we got. Oh, that's a new car as well. Jose Villegas in Mercedes 190E with the Jockey 10 engine. Revs, power.
Yes. Of noise as well, you'd expect.
So you take a 1990s DTM car and you engine swap it with an F1 engine.
What could possibly go wrong with that? Yeah.
How did I get? That is so over the top Jeremy Clarkson-like. I can't think of anything more Jeremy Clarkson-like.
No, not really.
But it's too big. It won't fit. Oh yes, it will.
Not trying hard enough, yeah. There's some fantastic cars on show. Because we were a little bit delayed in the warm session, we're a little bit behind for the commercial, but now that most of the guys have gone through, I think that it's time that we take one now. So we'll be back in a few moments' time with the second run. Here's the 6th round of the European Hill Climb Championship.
The 2021 virtual Glasbachrennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Elite Gaming, ESTV, and MotorVision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Welcome back to the GTR 24H broadcast of the 6th round of the European Hill Climb Championship here for 2021. And yeah, we've just completed the first run of the day. Well, I'll say just completed. We're completing right now. Still got a few more drivers to go, I believe. Eric Tuttle's not been over yet.
Let me get you on.
Let's wait and see. Olive Tan has yet to go as well. Eric Tuttle's still in the lane at the moment. Those Legameta.
I have no one on track at the moment.
And so yeah, I believe that is everybody, judging by the things that are going on at the moment and the fact that everybody has gone.
We should be waiting for Harris Cavalas.
Harris Cavalas should be next, but not going out at the moment. I think in this little break here, I'll update you on the next things that are coming on the GTR 24H, firstly YouTube channel, and for us to stream and things like that. So, first of all, the bottom left-hand side of your screen at the moment is counting down to, I believe, the first practice session of the 24 Hours of Le Mans EWC race this year. In just under 58 days' time now. We just completed the 24 Hours of Spa yesterday, and it was a very good race actually. The top two were within a minute of each other for 20 hours or so. Very entertaining indeed, but in the end basically decided by an engine failure for the most part.
Yeah, and they didn't even know at the time.
So yeah, there we go. got that race coming up. And then just announced very, very recently is the fact that you can sign up for the 2022 season already. Got a 6-race calendar, very similar to this year's in terms of its race lengths, and the last 2 races are identical, but the 12-hour races have been changed. Matsusaka to open us off, then Monza. Sebring is the 3rd round for the 2nd year in a row, and we've got Interlagos as well in April. Then we've got a very long spring/summer break all the way towards Spa and Le Mans, which are on the same weekends which they are this year, for a bit of consistency, which I can't be complaining about. If you sign up for the 2022 season now, you're actually a reserve entry for the 2021 Le Mans race as well, I read on the article, so that's worth looking into, certainly. Yeah, looking forward to those events. Of course, we've got the second half of the Hill Climb Championship coming up here. It ends in early December, this one does, so plenty of broadcast for us right the way up till Christmas, and then the EWC is only a month later, so pretty much constant broadcasting here on the GTR 24H channel at the moment.
And if everything goes as planned, we're going to start up the Sprint Series as well.
And of course, the Sprint Series is starting very soon. I'm not sure how many weeks away that is at the moment, but it will be starting very soon. And of course, you can still sign up for that as well, but I'm not entirely sure how. I think if you Google it, then you'll be able to get a link or something like that.
There's a link on the web page. If you click driver button at the top of the website, you'll be able to sign up.
Okay, if you click the driver button at the top of the website, then you should be able to see the Sprint Series and everything. Oh, you're on still. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's fine. You heard that then. That's okay.
So people can hear me. By the way, there are still entry spots for this hill climb as well.
Yeah.
So if you like driving old or fast cars in timed events, then by all means go ahead and sign up.
It's still very much open for sign-ups. We are, so hopefully we'll get a few more, but yeah, we've got a wonderfully assembled grid at the moment. We have, got...
James Runner just started his second run.
We have indeed.
And this one will be faster. He will now be going all out.
Well, let's see how all out he's going. He's already got 8 seconds over Mark West in Norbert. He just looks quicker, doesn't it, at this point? Sasella has been wonderful this season. I don't think it's lost a race. Sebastian Renat has only not won one. And I think Ludovic Farouk is also a Marcella guy, and indeed he is. Hopefully the cars will have a little bit wider, so imagine losing a bit of time through that tight little chicane, but... For the most part, this is very quick indeed. This is really watching the man at work. Sebastian Renat at the moment in the high-speed section. That's what the scratch chicane is for, just to slow the cars down a little bit before you hit this kind of thing. Very close to the bank on the left-hand side there. Now into the warm section, the barrier section. Every week the hill climb, but it doesn't fail to amaze.
One thing is trying to understand how to drive that fast, but then again, the amount of practice it takes to drive that kind of car that fast up that track is mind-bending.
It's very impressive indeed. Here's the finish line coming up just around this bend here. And we've got our first time on the board for the second run. It's a 57.9, which is actually a little bit slower. Sorry, maybe that says maybe that's a 3. 57.3, I think.
What we got? Mark Best finishing his run as well.
Yes, we have indeed. Well, not quite as quick that time. 8 attempts down. What he did last time. Oh, and Mark Best.
Won't be either.
Mark West won't be besting his time, I'm afraid. Oh, and into the barriers again. When you get out of your rhythm at a climb like this, it really does up things for the corners to come, and that's what we're seeing right now, really. All of these hill climbs are rhythm tracks.
especially in these cars. Especially in these cars.
We talk about it sometimes in circuit racing, but it's so much more apparent in the hill climb events. It is so important. And here's the mistake again. You just see getting on the power a little bit too early and spinning into the wall ever so slightly. But Mark Bester's completed run anyway, a little bit slower than before, I'm afraid. Right then, Tobias Basterdorf. Can he extend this margin just a little bit? He put 2.6 seconds into the field in the first heat, which is a really, really good lap. A really good run, I should say. Can he repeat here once again? Because if he does, then it's going to be very, very difficult to top him. Remind you that the top 2 runs out of 3 here count towards your time at the end, so you do have to do well in a couple of these rather than just the one.
In my opinion, you still have to run the tactic of doing the first one safe to get one in the bank, and then just risk it slightly more in the last one.
Oh, and speaking of risking it, just seen the 137 of Agius Andre going for a spin and into the barriers.
No.
He's lost his front splitter, so that's not good news for him at all. Basterdorf 1.2 seconds slower than his previous lap time on this occasion. I keep saying lap time, I know it's not, but it's force of habit.
And straight back to the pits for Agius.
That's a lot of pressure on his final run now. An awful lot of pressure. Any pressure that he could do without, but he'll be getting it whether he likes it or not, I'm afraid. Now then, Antonis Paradopoulos is in the Ford Escort WRC. And it does a 19.8 that time. Exactly, well, not exactly the same, but within a tenth of what he did the first time round. So consistency, certainly, but it doesn't pay you out too well, consistency at the hill climb. It does on occasion, but only if you're quick. Consistency in a different way to what it is in circuit racing, for example. Now, my personal favourite car, the Audi S1 here, Audi S1 with Philotheus Arguru. Turbocharged engine, makes a wonderful sound, and it's got the most power of any car in the field. Flies around quite dramatically on occasion as well.
Very wide, very short wheelbase. You've got the ultimate recipe for a twitchy and dangerous car.
It doesn't look particularly nice to drive as Chris Bennett is into the wall, I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
In the Tatus. Just listen to that car. It's absolutely excellent. Excellent to look at and to listen to, but not to drive, as you mentioned.
5-cylinder engine in that car. That's why it sounds very special.
Very unique, yeah. Over the line goes Arguru. The man at the helm, and it's a 22.4 for him on that occasion, with 1.8 seconds quicker than he was before. Listening to George Malice right now is not a bad sound either. He's also in a Ford Escort Cosworth. That's on board from the splitter at the moment, very close to the ground. And really get a sense for the speed when indeed the speed will be up in the middle part of this hill climb, but or even at this section. Long right-hander leading into a fairly tight left. Oh, and a bit of handbrake, a bit of tap on the wall as well, but not a good tap. Now the speed can get up a little bit. Over a rare crest. And then back uphill again slightly. Into the chicane. Difficult to get this car slowed down there, in all honesty.
The tires of doom.
Yeah, they are.
They're made of immovable objects. That's what they're made of.
Yeah, they're not tyres you'd find off a car, there's no doubt about that.
I wish I could have that material and make tanks out of it.
Well, the rolling resistance will be shocking, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
It would be an unpenetrable tank.
Yes. This is the final technical section. You can see the car's slowed down a little bit as John Spider has come across the line in Group H. 28.6. A little bit slower from him, so the door is certainly open to Patrick Fossey to maybe do something.
Harry Rodriguez just started his run as well in the Honda Civic Type R.
Yeah, the TCR looking race car. There's actually a video on the Hill Climb Virtual Championship.net website at the moment of a Porsche Cup car. I believe it's a Porsche Cup car. Anyway, sounds like one. Being driven up this hill in preparation for this event.
George Mellis 226.698.
Yeah, I'm afraid 2.3 seconds slower than before. He didn't look too bad of a run actually, but he just wasn't quite up to it.
Good enough for fourth in the class, and we're still waiting for Agios Andre, Pascalis, Andreas, and Frederick in the same class to complete their runs. So maybe he can still hang on to that fourth.
Well, Andre's not going to be getting a better lap time, is he? Because he's already attempted, but crashed out there. So he's not going to get another run until run 3, where all the pressure will be on him.
Angelopoulos did 227.346, so Mellis hangs on to fourth for now.
Yes, and he will do in the provisional standings, but does need to go a little bit quicker if he wants to hold off Andre in this final run.
232.4 for Javi Rodriguez.
Nearly half a second slower than what he managed in the first run. And that opens the door also for Valadis Corrales in the Renault Clio.
Andreas Valles. Ow.
Easy to get the walls around here, but they don't grab you quite as much as they did 4 weeks ago.
No, these are not the sticky kind, but they still destroy your car.
Yeah, we have seen carbon fibre strewn across the track, or the hill, if you want to call it that, so far today. Times I'm very much interested in from Patrick Fossey and Valadis Corrales. I'm not quite, well, they're both in the pit lane still, so got a little bit of waiting to do before those guys come out. Really try something here. But looking forward to that, because in both categories we've got an obvious championship leader who doesn't look like being surpassed at the moment, but certainly challenges creeping up from behind. Maybe not for the championship, but certainly for this event. I'd really like to see them get in there and maybe cause an upset here, so the times I'm very much interested in.
Andreas Valles didn't do anything either.
Morales is out there at the moment, and I believe we can see him in the top right hand side of his screen. Maybe that's not Corrales actually, is it? That's Frederic Tachet. Teixeira of E1 Plus 2000. Oh, into the barriers. Ever so slightly there on the right hand side. There's Corrales, yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't think that the Renault Clio and the Honda Civic Type R would be very well suited, but they seem very, very close, particularly up here. Both front-wheel drive, of course.
It's very, very setup dependent, and it's, I would say it's very, very much determined by how good you are at, how good you are at setting up the car to your driving style.
Yes. Patrick Fossey also out there at the moment in the Opel Kadett. As Frederic Teixeira comes over the line in even a bit slower than the Group H car of John Spider there, I'm afraid. And not the dream run for him on this occasion. Corrales, to update you, by the way, came into this run 2 tenths behind Javi Rodriguez. If you look at Patrick Fossey in the main view, oh God, he's committed at the moment. Makes a pretty fantastic sound as well, the Opel Kadett. Through the chicane.
In general, high-revving 4-cylinder engines with almost no exhaust system, they always sound like letting out a bunch of angry bees.
They certainly do make a great sound, yeah. We've got all the way up to V8s for the Acela in this series, all different kind of noise, but Corrales goes over the line with a 32.3. And he does gain a tenth back, and if it was marked on those 2 times alone, then Javi Rodriguez would take it by a tenth of a second, but of course we're not. We've still got one more to go. Marcus Blassel has been over the line as well with a 37.4, which is lower than what he managed before. I'm afraid it's not really been his day so far.
Not really.
Not really on the ball at the moment. About 8 seconds down on Don Spider, who he's been competitive with at some parts of this year. Over the line goes Patrick Fossey, not quicker than John Spider though. 32.2, or 30, ooh, that's... As I was saying those words, wince a little bit because...
I'm gonna just send you a link, Ewan, now since you had your problems with the live timing. And I'm gonna ask you if this doesn't work and doesn't give you live timing as well as make you capable of selecting what car you want to use.
Yes, this should be what I need.
This is what you need.
It is, yes.
And then do the Jedi hand thing. The gesture. This is what you need.
Turn auto cameras off now as well.
Yeah.
So that's all wonderful. And we can have more camera views.
That was the link that you were looking for.
Yes, it was. Well, just any old link really that shows me some timing would be good, and I've got that now, so...
No, it's not raining. He just generally runs with the Vipers on because... Yeah, I don't know. Which PC am I controlling now?
Mine, by the looks of that.
It's the one that's on screen at least. But
Yes.
I was looking at PC one. I need to sort my bashes here.
You're right, Hernandez is out there, and we've got splitter cam upon him right now as he's in a bit of a technical section. I think this is towards the end rather than towards the start, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was towards the start. Oh. Nick Coxegidis.
At the moment.
Yeah, he won 2000 for him.
That
sure how
to look so fun to drive.
It does look quite fun actually, yeah. We'll see how he gets on here today, Coxegidis, because he's kind of the most real challenger Javi Rodriguez in recent weeks, but Tashev was a little bit off the ball last time around. He's not here today, but he's to be replaced by Corrales, who's doing very well. Bit of a spin. Oh no, sorry, it's just not Coxegidis into a stop after the hill climb. I thought that was going terribly wrong for someone there. Hernandez,
no. Hey, handbrake there. We got a handbrake out of it.
He's got back going again, so success on that front, but a little bit just.
How did the car take that beating? How did that hold up? I don't get it.
Now we've got a Javi Hernandez and a Javi Rodriguez in this race alone, which is not confusing at all.
That's the race confusion level.
Yeah.
And look at this. That's one of the OPGP cycles as well, driven by
Yes.
Olive 10.
Yes. Coming towards the end of these now, Olive Tan's still up to, I think, Franklin Parrott, Eric Tatol maybe. Izzy Lagaretto's going this time round as well. Which is more than can be said for the last time he was out there. Yeah, we are coming towards the end of Heat 2 here. We do need to fit a commercial break in somewhere, so before Heat 3 begins, we are just going to take a quick ad break, and when we return, the final runs from the Glasbachrennen will be coming right up.
The 2021 virtual Glasbachrennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Elite Gaming, ESTV, and MotorVision.tv.
start. A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Welcome back to the European Hill Climb Championship Round 6 from the Glasbachrennen. Apologies to any Germans watching who have just heard me pronounce that, but you know, do my best. Fernando Sanchez is out there at the moment, although he is damaged, as you can see, with the front splitter. No longer a part of that car, I'm afraid. There's a bit of an issue. 2-litre engine in this car, probably more fun to drive when it has got a front nose, I'm afraid. So yeah, there we are. He crosses the line. And run 3 will be coming up shortly. So yeah, it looks like both of the E2 categories are going to be settled. Of course, the Chris Bennett categories settled before we got here almost, but E2 3000 is the one that is was up for grabs today, and it's looking like it's going to go to Sebastian Renat by the looks of things. This is the 34 car. And there's the floor. That wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah. Here are some of the cars.
It's hard to control this. It's not as easy as you think.
Oh, I've got no idea, to be honest, how most of the things work, but there they are. There's the Acela of Sebastian Renat. Sanchez's Peugeot we just went past as well, which did not so long ago. A couple of Opel GTE Psychos. The Mitsubishi's there.
My years as an RC helicopter pilot comes handy here.
There's the field in the garage. We saw Chris Bennett's open wheel Formula car right towards the very end. There it is, and Philotheus argues Audi S1 as well is next to him. That's the siren of the control car that you can hear.
Very loudly, so...
It is. Yes. Didn't used to have a siren.
Drums back, please.
Yeah, didn't used to have a siren, to my knowledge, but there we are. So Sebastian Renard's going to be first out there, then we've got Mark Best coming up after that. Then we'll see what happens after that. With the 3000 seems to be pretty settled, so let's find out. Sebastian Renard goes towards the beginning of the hill climb.
Ooh, I'm all excited now.
This is just going to be an all-out run from Sebastian Renard because he has got a huge amount of time, an 18-second lead on Mark Best at this point. He can DNF from this run, this heat here, and he would still win comfortably, you'd have to imagine. This is just going to be an all-out attack to try and get the best time he possibly can. And kind of culmination of all the work he's put into this particular race. And there's the onboard in the top right as well. No risk through that chicane on this occasion, he didn't, especially the first run he went through here. That was close to the left-hand side, and the bank that was waiting for him. He'll slide out in that corner there. But at these speeds, it doesn't matter too much. In this category, momentum not too much of a factor really. It would be in the slower ones because of the hill, but so much power. Just don't have to worry about it in the Acela or the Norma, but I do know that the Acela has been the car to choose so far this season and will continue to be so. We compare the two picture in picture right now. There it is, side by side, and Sebastian Renard over the line just as we do that. And then what was the time? It was a 57.5 on that occasion, actually slowest of all three, so that one's not going to count for Sebastian Renard, but as long as Mark Best doesn't go insanely quicker on this lap time here, then it's going to be no contest. But he's taking the win in this one. The interesting battle is E1 plus 2000. Tobias Bashadorf with a bit of a lead right now. 2.6 seconds. I think 4 seconds overall on this man, Antonis Paranopoulos, in the Ford. .206.6 for Mark Best, so a little bit better, but still not good enough, so he will be second, and Sebastian Renard will win his 5th hill climb of the year. And what about Bashadorf? Not out there at the moment, he's back in the pit lane. I think he's had a problem out here somewhere. He may not complete this final run. I think he's crashed somewhere out there on the run. Paranopoulos still though has to go a good 2.6 seconds quicker than Bashadorf here. He has to do a 14.6. Would be insane, really. I don't think he can do it. By this anyway. the line. It's a 22.6. I'm afraid it's not even good enough to be one of Paranopoulos' elected times in this one. Agios Andre, though, if he goes half a second quicker, could very well get up there into the front, although he's in the pit lane right now. May not be coming out of the pit lane. I'm not sure where he's in the order. I think he was quite low down, but let's wait and see. If indeed he doesn't complete this final run, then Andre's not going to have a time on the board for the event at all. That, of course, is absolutely no points, and when you're in a championship fight like his, you cannot afford that. He's 10 points behind Bashirov coming into the day. He wants to try and reduce the losses today from 10 points, another 10 points, which he currently is, to 7 points. They're going to make things very close indeed in the race for second. If Paranopoulos gains those 3 points, because it would tie them completely together. Algiru in the Audi comes over the line now. But once again, he's the third driver out of 4 to have his worst time yet today. Here's John Spider once again, cruising to what looks like is going to be a victory in Group H. Not much competition today, and a big championship lead now beckons. 27 points in his favour. Agios Andre is in on the right hand side of your screen, as you can see in the blue. Sorry, there's no blue on that car at all. It's red and white.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Getting distracted by John Spider, I think. Oh, Chris Bennett goes for another spin. I think that was after the line. Yes, it was after the line. He's okay. There's no panic.
Okay.
He just crossed the line. And he's back to the pit lane now, but he did crash over the line. Doesn't really matter though. Does a 26.9 to complete the day, and a 6th victory from 6. Caught in that category. Spider over the line. It's a 28.9 for him. Yet again, the slowest lap time of his day. We're waiting for Agios Andre and George Mallis here to come over the line. Here is George Mallis in the Subaru. It doesn't. No, it's not, is it? What, the Ford? Excuse me. Ford Escort. Oh, Agios Andre sets the fastest lap time of the E1 plus 2000 category, but it's not enough.
By 2 seconds, nonetheless.
Yeah, by 2 seconds in this heat.
And he only
However,
run that earlier.
well, yeah, but it's still half a second slower than his first run. So I wonder somehow the track's slower than it was. Nobody's going quicker here. Mark Best is the only person to have completed a lap time right now, or to have completed all 3 times and have actually gone quicker than one of the previous 2. It's a very strange situation. Never quite seen this on a hill climb. George Mallis trying to get 4th off of Philotheus Argyru here, but I don't think he's going to manage it. 26.1, and he goes quicker than his second lap time at least. It's still not good enough for 4th. Philotheus Argyru is going to take that in front of George Mallis. The rest of Group H here. Here's Angelopoulos at the moment. not sure where he's going to stack up in relation to that, but he's certainly not going to be challenging as Bashadov at the front. Now Tobias Fossey needs a very good lap time here, late on, if he wants to take Group H, and he's waiting for Javi Rodriguez to kick us off for E1 2000. 1/10 separating Javi Rodriguez and Valerius Corrales at the moment. It is very, very close in that category. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Rodriguez gets on here. He's actually in the final part of the lap. The final time today. Can he go quicker? I'm expecting not at this point, because the road seems to be slower at the moment. Oh, a little bit wide through there. The pressure's got to be on for both though here. This would be an absolute classic if all 3 lap times counted, of course, but they don't on this occasion. Angelopoulos comes over the line behind George Mallis in 5th for the 3rd and final heat. What can Corrales do here about Javi Rodriguez? Does he have something to pull out of the bag? Take a race, an event victory here. Rodriguez is over the line. Is this lap time any better? It is. He does go a little bit quicker. So that really does put the pressure onto Corrales. He needs to do a low 31 here if he wants to beat Javi Rodriguez. He's just coming up towards the start now, I believe, anyway. Yes, he's on the start now, the Renault Clio. So Valerius Corrales has got a big opportunity here. Possibly take his first hill climb win of the year. In a combination of Leonardo Bartolini and Javi Rodriguez for the final 4 rounds, for the most recent 4 rounds. Been staying in Southern Europe throughout so far, but maybe Corrales can take a race victory away from Rodriguez and stop this streak that he's been on. Oh, not with the wall hit like that.
No.
And in the wall again. It's not a good start for Corrales at all. He needs to do a 31.3 or better. But with 2 taps on the wall like that, you cannot see him going nearly a second quicker than he previously has.
That was exactly what you were talking about, it being sort of rhythm tracks instead, and as soon as you hit a wall one place, you're going to hit it in the next corner and the next corner until you get back into the rhythm again. It's so dangerous. Once it starts going wrong, that'll kind of just follow you through the next couple of corners.
And it has done. It's in the wall again. He's in the wall again. On the way towards the chicane, and it's in the barriers for one last time. Valerius Corrales. Oh, it's such a shame. It is such a shame. He loses the event by less than a second in the end to Javi Rodriguez. He's just come out short. But the Spaniard has survived the assault. Oh, that is a real shame for him.
And where he crashed to, you just absolutely have to use the escape button and go back to pit lane because...
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Hey, what?
Agricultural from Marcus Blasso.
What was that all about?
Not entirely sure, but he's done for the day. Not his best day. What can Patrick Fossey do here? If anything.
Got away from him and he just got turned up onto the banking.
Yes, he's back to the pit lane now. And that's the end of it for him as well. Now, as we look at the results sheet for that Group H category, it's going to be separated by about 5 seconds, but that doesn't really tell the whole story, I'm afraid. And a little bit closer than that.
By the way, Chris Bennett, despite his accidents and everything, he managed to make it up all the way up in 2:26.9.
Yeah. A little bit of a disappointing day in terms of his overall position that he's going to get for that one, I think. As we mentioned before, it doesn't really matter because he's the only car in that category. So now that that's all of the positions set, we'll just enjoy these final few cars coming through and hitting the line, I think.
Indeed.
Not many cars, as you can see on the left hand side, not many cars have finished at that time, and those that have really haven't improved. Really not very many guys have improved. Javi Rodriguez did right at the very last, and I somewhat get the feeling that there was such a distance between Rodriguez and Corrales because of their disparity in qualifying that Corrales will have seen that lap time and put a bit of pressure on himself to go quickly, and it went wrong quite early on. Whereas if he'd in the car behind Rodriguez and not known anything that was happening in front, he might have performed a little bit better and who knows, might have won it. But that's why you've got to qualify well. That is the importance of qualifying well, because if you leave it too late, the pressure can come up on you very quickly indeed.
By the way, up in the corner there was one of the classics. That's a Simca Rally. It was Eric Tettel in that car, and he just lost his rear bumper.
Not looking quite so good anymore.
Oh, more parts, shedding weight.
Oh, and in the wall, more parts.
He's going, there'll be no car left when he gets to the finish line.
Might not get to the finish line, not right. I'm afraid. Not looking particularly promising.
It was him, his steering wheel, and his chair.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
Ivan Moreau comes over the line for a second place time in E1 2000. 38.3. It was a good 7 seconds slower than Rodriguez, I'm afraid.
Obviously a rear-engine car with Simca. Because there's nothing in the front.
Well, yeah. Oh, you can see the engine from the back as well.
Air-cooled, and now extra air-cooled.
Yeah. 2-litre engine in that car, by the way. Very light as well, very light car. I think bettered only by the, E2 3000 cars, which obviously are going to be very light. They're machines, but basically only bettered by the Formula car, which you'd of course expect. Oh! Into the trees. Break Tuttle. That's the end of it for him. Oh my word! Nick Koxakadis has somehow kept it going.
Well, he had a bit of help from the barrier, but I expect the steering wheel is all, yeah, the suspension is good.
It should be, yeah. And the Fiat Punto, by the way. Pretty cool.
Let me see if I can get into the cockpit with him and see if he's still, no, he's still staying straight.
It can be hard to tell with these hill climbs because you're always turning, basically. It's steering just look okay. Remarkably. Oh, that's not okay though. In the bank.
No, that's not where you want to be.
And he's all right. He's got to the finish. Goodness me. He does. Excuse me. Rai Hernandez out there on the course as well right now. The Renault 8 Gordini, isn't it? Ian Dodge was taking that to podiums. I believe he might have got a race win with that Renault. Been all over the place in Group H, but finally got 2 consecutive event wins from John Spider over the last couple of weeks, or the last couple of events.
This is really the car that we want to be on board with. Let me see if I I can't. There we go. Got it. The camera focused a bit more. It's sort of in the roof.
Yes. Mercedes 190 E-Judge, I think.
Yeah.
6 cylinders.
Nope, that'll be 10.
Oh, 10, sorry.
It's a V10 Formula 1 engine. Crazy.
Yes, crazy. You were mentioning it a little bit earlier on, actually.
I believe it was originally 3.5 litre when it was in the Formula 1 cars, but obviously that wouldn't last very long, so I believe it's bought out to 3.7 litres. And the stroke is slightly changed.
That'd be very quick over the line there, goodness me. What's the time like? I'll have a look. I think it was 46.7. They're not particularly quick, but needs a few more open and straight sections really to excel.
246.7.
Barriers again for Ryan Rodriguez, excuse me.
Classic. Those cars have been doing hill climbs for the last 40 years.
Yes.
This one has as well. Maybe not in that spec with the extreme wide body kit, but still.
These two look quite close to each other on the climb, as I've just seen these camera shots go past. I hope they don't converge on one another. We do see that occasionally. You see it more often in qualifying, actually. Sometimes when we're sitting around waiting to begin the live streaming. It can be a little bit contact. Sometimes we catch it as well in qualifying, but there we are. Oh, don't keeping it on the road.
You don't want to do that.
No, Isu Lagaretta in the Fiat. Look at that short wheelbases earlier on. Well, looks like a bit of a twitchy car, to be honest, by the looks of that.
Yeah, they're good at the twitchy stuff. But sadly, when they start sliding, they are very hard to catch sliding again.
Like this car, actually. In the barriers for Fernando Sanchez. Just trying to keep things on the road. I think he does need to complete this to actually be registered as a finisher of this event.
That is, by the way, an absolute classic of the hot hatch era in the 1990s, a Peugeot 306 Maxi. If you want to save up for your pension right now, find one of those in good nick and just store it. Put it in your barn. Because that car in real life is going to be worth a lot of money by the next 20 or 30 years. There aren't a lot of them left because people use them for this. And the guys that bought them and drove them on the road were really, they didn't have their head screwed on properly, so a lot of them are crashed and totally destroyed.
I don't know if it was this car or something very similar used for the World Rally Championship for a while in the 2000s. Might have been something similar. But
yeah, it wasn't 306, but it was a newer model.
yes. It looks familiar from that era. The silver-looking cars. As I mentioned, Sanchez just trying to finish the event here the best he can.
That was coming very close to not happening right there.
Yes. I think he's the final man to come across the line as well. although Frank Dupin might have something to say about that one. Well, look, I believe he is the final one, though.
Frederick Tetcher still in the paddock area with no time. Yeah. Frank Dupree's in the paddock area with no time yet. Those are the two we're waiting for.
Yeah, I don't think, by the looks of things, they're going to be going out there. So, just before we wrap things up, and I'll tell you the provisional results and championship standings, we're going to take one final quick commercial break. And, yeah, when we return, the unofficial results will be brought to you.
The 2021 virtual Glasbachrennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Elite Gaming, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Welcome back to the Glasbachrennen, where we have just completed the 6th round of the European Hill Climb Championship here on our Factor 2 for 2021. And yeah, now we're halfway through this championship as well. Some highlights coming up on your screen right now as I run you through some unofficial results from that particular event. In the E2 3000 category, Sebastian Renau's taken his 5th victory in a row here in this championship, ahead of Mark Best this time. Those two 1 and 2 gives Sebastian Renau a 92-point championship lead, which is quite astonishing at this stage. In E1 plus 2000, it's Tobias Bashadorf who's going to take another victory in front of Antonis Paranopoulos. It's been a very, very good event actually for that category. very competitive, but Bashadorfer in the end extending his championship lead over Paranopoulos to 20 points. Likewise to Agios Andre, who's also now 20 points back. He came third today in front of Philotheus Argyru in the Audi S1. And George Mallis also, who came in fifth in that event, just in front of Angelopoulos, Paschalis Angelopoulos, who came in what I believe is sixth place in that Lancer Evo. In Group H, we saw John Spider take his second victory in 2 rounds. That's going to extend his championship lead quite in a big way, I've got to say. Marcus Blassel came in third today, which is not really where he's used to being. And Patrick Fossey, in his first European hill climb event of 2021, came in second. A little bit closer than the results may tell you at the end of the day. It's going to be about a 5-second margin, but he was running Spider quite close for quite a long time, and hopefully by the end of the year, maybe by next round, he's going to be right up there with him. And it was the best E1 2000 race that we've seen all year so far, with Javi Rodriguez just about taking it in front of Corrales by less than a second after all of this. So fantastic to see, although the fact that most of his championship rivals weren't here means that the 5th win in a row for Javi Rodriguez has brought in more than 50 points of a championship lead, more than 60 points of a championship lead, I should say now. So he is very much towards the fore and flying away with this championship quite possibly. Couple of cars still having a bit of fun out there at the moment, but our stream is pretty much done here. We're halfway now in the European Hill Climb Championship for 2021. From now on, though, it's every 2 weeks we will have an event, right the way till the end of November on the 22nd, when we have our finale at the Bustecki Dani in Croatia. For now, though, we are going across to Italy for the Coppa Paolino Teodori on the 13th of September, so make sure you join us for that. It'll be 9:30 in Europe, the stream start, and then at 10 o'clock the first heat of that day will be beginning around about then at European time. So make sure you join us for that. We're very much looking forward to it. But until then, it's goodbye for now.
The 2021 virtual Glasbachrennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Elite Gaming, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.